to episode 1 of Football Unscripted. I am joined by Alex, who is a 6'2 forward for Greenville Triumph of the USL League One. Enjoy.
All right. So I'm going to start by, my name is Caleb. So I go to East Tennessee State University. I'm a sports management major. If you have any questions about me as we go on, then you can ask. But I'm going to start with you. So you're from France, right?
Yes, I am.
Where in France?
Alsace. So it's next to Germany, Strasbourg, if you've heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I'm from. I'm from an hour south of it.
Okay.
But, I'm a bit special because that's where my roots are from, but
Yeah.
I've lived pretty much everywhere. I grew up in French Guiana in South America. I was there for about 7 years. And then after that, I moved to Shanghai, China.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And after that, that's when we finally went back to France in Alsace. I stayed there throughout high school. And then I had the opportunity to come to the US. So here I am now.
Well, great. That's crazy. I mean, I've lived in 2 different states and I thought that was a lot, but moving from to China and places like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's my mom. She just, she loves traveling.
Yeah.
I think she transmitted that love to me. So yeah, now I'm far away from her in the US.
So my first question is about, so you talked about how you moved to the US. So what was that process like?
So, we have an agency in France that just look at players and give us the option to come to the US. And my situation was that studying was really important. And as much as I wanted to become a professional soccer player, I wanted to have school somewhere. And in France, it's really complicated. You have to choose one or the other.
Yeah.
And just having the opportunity to come here and play at a high level and have the opportunity to become professional, but still get a degree was what made me come here.
What's your degree in?
So I'm currently doing my master's, but I graduated from my undergrad in biochemistry and my master's in business right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you went to, if I got this correct, I did a little bit of research. So you went to Lander University first, is that right?
Yes, I went to Lander University freshman, sophomore year, and then transferred to Anderson. And now I'm finishing my master's from Anderson.
Oh, great. So what was that like? What was the decision to go from Lander to Anderson?
So it was a bit of a forced decision, if I'm going to be honest. Unfortunately, got injured in Lander, and I was out of the field for a year and a half.
Oh, wow.
And, it's a lot of financial pressure, when you have a big scholarship.
Yeah.
And if you cannot play, it's just at some point you cannot stay. And that's what happened for me in Lander. And I was so fortunate to have the Anderson coach, Michael Zion, who really believed in me, when I came back, and he gave me a chance. And I hope I was able to give it back to him. But yeah, so that's basically how it happened.
That's great. I mean, to get the chance to come back from a year and a half injury and still play and provide that much. And it's, from what I've seen, you had a pretty good 2021 season from the research I did. That's actually one of my questions. You had 2021 season, you had 13 goals in 18 games. I mean, that's pretty insane ratio right there. So what was that like to come back from the injury and to be able to give that back to the school?
It's just such a good feeling because, I was there. It was like my senior year, and, every year there has been a problem, and I was injured and COVID happened. I haven't been able to actually play my game. And that season was the one where I could finally be healthy and play a full season. And it just paid off, if I'm going to tell you a funny anecdote, we played Lander during the season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we beat them 5-2, and I scored a hat trick against them. It was one of the highlights of my season, you know.
That had to feel good.
It's just amazing feeling, you know.
Yeah, that I'm sure that felt good.
It did.
So you also had 4 assists and 4 game-winning goals. So can you talk about those game-winning goals?
Yeah, I mean,
remember?
you know, as long as we win the game, that's what matters to me.
Yeah.
But it always feels good to have the game-winning goal. You know, it's, you know, just scoring that goal, going to celebrate with your teammates. I don't know. I don't think I could like put words into it, but I have the clear image in my head, and I'm like, yeah, it's just that feeling. That's what I play the game for. You know.
That's the thing about sports in general, but this sport, I feel like it's such a hard thing to describe.
It is.
The things that go on in this sport, it's just so indescribable.
It is, because you have so much feelings involved, you know, like with the adrenaline, and it's like the pressure and the emotion, and you're tired and you're happy, you know. So yeah, it's really hard to describe.
So sorry, I had a question. I don't know where it went. Oh yeah, here's what I was gonna say. So I actually found your YouTube. I watched your videos, and I gotta say, you were a baller in college. Some of those goals you scored in the 2021 season were insane.
Thank you.
Which one was your favorite though? Like out of all 4 years that you played in college, which one was your favorite?
My favorite was probably my goal against North Georgia. So in that 2021 season. So basically, we went there and we were 1-0 up. So I scored the first goal, and then they just scored 2 goals straight away, and we were 2-1 down until the probably 83rd minute. So like really close to the end, and we just stopped the game at some point with my team and just regrouped together, you know. And we talked, and we're just too good to lose this game. So let's just go. And something clicked, and my teammate, Eloy, just scored a great goal that made it 2-2. And then, I don't know, like 85th minute, 5 minutes from the end, I just get the ball, midfield, I dribble in, I dribble the defender and just shoot. And it's just such a nice curve, and just, you know, the step that I scored the game-winning goal when we were coming from behind. It was just, my favorite.
I've never played at the level you played at, but I could tell you those goals like that, they feel different.
Oh yeah, they do. Where did you play?
So I played my entire life, but I only have played up until high school. I got 2 offers from NAIA schools. I got one when I was a little bit younger. I didn't take it because I didn't really know how the sport was going to work out for me. And then I got one. It was already committed to the school that I'm going to now, so I just decided to come here academically.
Okay.
I'm working. I got to admit, the team you play for now, Greenville Tribe, has a few emails from me, just asking if I can come do some tryouts. I just go through those phases where I just send like random emails like, hey, I don't have any experience at your level, but let me come try it out. I haven't got any back, but
sure. That would be fun, man. It's always a great experience, no matter what.
That's why I kind of decided to do this. Is if I can't play, I want to be involved with the sport no matter what.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So you are with Greenville Triumph now.
Yes.
So what is it? I have a lot of questions about that, but what is the distinct difference from playing and practicing, which I know you guys are only 2 games in, but playing and practicing with college as a college athlete and then as a professional athlete?
The biggest difference that comes to my mind is just 2 things. It's the intensity and the speed of play. You know, when I say by intensity is that in college, I was able, you know, when a pass comes to me, I was able to take a touch, take 2 touch, and then decide what I'm going to do. But right now, it's like before the ball comes to my feet, I have to know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And it's just so much like everything goes faster. You have to make your decisions faster, and it's just, everything to make you a better player yourself. So I just love it.
So was practicing, because I've been to the school I go to is D1, so I go watch the games a lot, and it's
I know
very
people
fast.
that in
Oh,
your
you do?
team for it this year.
I practiced with a few people. I went to tryouts and stuff. So I've never played D1 soccer, but I played against people who are D1, and the speed, just not even playing like an actual D1 game, is insane. And I couldn't imagine how much crazier playing professional is. So you play in the USL League One. So when you came out of college, did you have any plans to try to get drafted in the MLS, or did you want to go straight to playing? What was that like coming out of college?
Yeah, so my problem is that I was playing in the D2, and it's really hard to get drafted when you play for D2 and not a D1. And, originally my plan coming to the US was to start in a D2, do good, transfer to a D1, get drafted. But then, it never happens how you want. And I had my injury, and I used my transfer to go to another D2. So, I think the draft was not really in my radar, but I was going to try to go pro no matter what.
Yeah.
So, that's basically what I did, went on tryouts, and yeah.
So playing D2, and D2 is a great level play, but did you ever feel like you didn't get the rep? You didn't feel like you got your due because you weren't in D1?
Not really, because I've played with a lot of D1 players as well. I played in the summer against D1 players. And I think, that D2 and D1, I think apart from the top D1s, the level is the same. And I think the difference between the two is that D1 players are better athletes. They run faster, they run longer, they jump higher. But I think that D2 players are more technical. It's a lot more of international players that grew up in country where soccer is the culture. So I think like on that side, it was like still really good. The only thing that I regret was not having the exposure I would have had being in a D1.
Well, I don't know if it's true, but I read about the MLS draft, and it said that you had to be a D1 player. I don't know if that's true or not, but
it's not true, but almost. I know from this draft this year, only one D2 player was. So it's not true, but kind of.
Well, it's just any D2 team could be any D1 team. And in my classes, I learned it's not about the playing, it's just about the funding. And like I'm sure any D2 player could play D1.
It depends. On some aspect, D1 is still higher, and I still think that the top D1s are on a different level than D2s. In general, yeah.
I got to the Marshall the year after because they won the national championship in 2020. They came here and played, and every person that touched that field looked like they could have played MLS easily.
Yeah.
So I feel like I agree with what you said. There are a few teams that are just so insane.
Yeah.
So you're only 2 games in to the USL League One. So, and I don't know exactly how many games you guys play, but I know there are 11 teams. So I was wondering what you are looking forward to the rest of the season. Like, what are your goals? What is your team goals? Because I know you sit 10th right now, but it's just 2 games in, but you guys are 10th. So what are your goals for the rest of the season?
Yeah, one of the reasons I came to Greenville is because they're a performing team, and they've shown it over the years. They've reached the final like consistently. And yeah, you said it's only 2 games, if you look at the content of the games, we've been, showing that we're a really good team. And when we get it clicking together, it's when we're going to start winning the games, and it's going to be soon. So, the goal is to win it, to win the USL League One.
Yeah.
And we have a big Open Cup game tomorrow against MLS team Charlotte FC.
Yeah.
So, you know, the goal is to go as far as we can, and why not win it, you know?
And you guys are playing that tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Are you excited?
I am. So I actually finally got cleared to play yesterday.
Good. I was looking and I didn't see you had played yet, but I was going to ask you about that.
Yes. Just some visa and waiting for the league, but it's all good now. So yeah, I'm beyond excited.
So what are you looking forward to most about touching the field professionally?
Scoring goals, winning games, lifting trophies, you know, doesn't get better than that.
This might be a dumb question, but your first goal you score professionally, what's your celebration going to be?
What's my celebration going to be? I'm probably just going to, you know.
Just too much emotion?
Just run to my bench and celebrate with the bench. Like, you know, that's.
I could imagine the feeling.
Yeah. So I want to celebrate with my team, you know.
So if you got to, I know I've lived in South Carolina for a while, but have you got adjusted to Greenville well? And the practicing and just the schedule being professional?
Yeah. I'd say pretty much, you know, it's been a lot with moving in, and I still have my classes with my masters and homework. But now that I'm like moved in and, you know, just focusing on soccer, I think I've adjusted pretty well.
Okay. So I meant to ask you this earlier, but you talked about how you moved around a lot. So when you were a kid, did you have any, like, who did you enjoy watching the most? Like, you went place to place, but I'm sure like it was still important part of your life. So like, who were your favorite people to watch when you were a kid?
So my love for soccer started watching the national team, the French national team. And so, of course, like the player that made me like the game is Thierry Henry. So watching him was, and of course, Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah.
But, you know, I could relate more to Thierry Henry. So just watching him play, and actually didn't start watching club until like later. And the team that I've been supporting was Lyon.
Oh, really?
Yes. So they're the team I root for. And yeah, so we can say Lyon is the team I cheered for.
I've always enjoyed watching Lyon. I loved when Depay was there.
Oh yeah. No, they've always had a good team that they could compete on the European level.
Thierry Henry is definitely a great player to become a favorite, that's for sure, and to play as. So, do you have anything else that you want to talk about? Just about your struggles with playing or anything? Do you have any like advice for people who might be wanting to go to the next level like you are? Yeah,
for sure. I mean, you know, you mentioned the struggles, and I don't know, from outside, it looks like, you know, it looks like easy. It looks like, you know, it's always been like what's going to happen, but absolutely not, you know?
Yeah.
Like I mean, we talked about my injury, but when I was injured, there was like a time I was like, I'm never going to be able to play again, you know? Like, and that was every day for like a month. And when I was able to play again, it was hard. I couldn't play.
Yeah.
And so even when I was able to play for maybe 3-4 months, I was not at my level. And it was just frustrating. You're like, yeah, I'm never going to reach my level again. And so that can like lead me to, if I have to give any advice, to never give up, you know, and always believe in yourself. I mean, I'm sure like people have heard that, but I have lived through it, and I cannot say how important that is. Another example to make this argument like even more relevant is my experience with Greenville Triumph. I was on tryout with them for almost a month and a half, and after the second week, they told me they're not going to sign me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I kept going for like the comic books, and I kept going and started improving, and starting providing what the coach was looking for. And the coach was seeing the potential in me. And then came that day where he was like, you know what, maybe I should watch you play in that other team to see how you improve. And then he just stopped and he was like, you know what, I don't want to do that because I'm signing you now. And I was like, happiest day of my life. And that again to say that don't give up, don't give up.
No, that's a great example to show that no matter what, that you could come through thing. And I didn't know that happened. That you tried out for that long, and I didn't know you weren't going to get signed. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing, that the biggest advice I have.
Well, that's great. I mean, that's great advice. Thank you for sharing that. That's great.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't have many more questions. Is there anything else you want to talk about your career at all?
No, not necessarily. I might have a question about you. How did you came to you told me a bit, but how did you came to the idea of the podcast, and where do you want to go with it? What's your ambition with it?
Yeah. So thank you for asking that. I haven't really explained that much. So I'm a sports management major. I love sports. So I watch a lot of different things on other sports. So one podcast I watch a lot is called The Old Man and the Three. It's hosted by JJ Redick, who is my dad and I's one of our favorite basketball players. And I watch it all the time. So he sits down and he just has conversations with athletes or basketball players. I mean, just about their journey, their childhood, how they came to the NBA, what their career is going forward. And I was just thinking, because I went through all these different podcasts that host soccer podcasts, and I didn't see any interviews. I didn't see anything like that. And I kind of get annoyed seeing like all these interviews with athletes and stuff, and it's 30 seconds long and you get nothing out of it, and then it's just poorly quoted. So I thought it would be a great idea to just sit down and just have a conversation with athletes. Because I've tried for my longest time to play at the next level, but I didn't really know what it was like. So hearing your advice with how you really almost got cut is crazy. And that's what I want to get out of this show. So and I messaged a lot of people. Honestly, I didn't expect to get someone professional already. I thought it was going to like start with like college kids or something. And then when you responded, I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, of course.
So that was great to me. I told my family that I was so excited. My goal is to keep on doing this. And we went 25 minutes, which is, I think it's great for a first time, but I've never been a person who's on camera. So my goal is to, and I hate that you had to be the first, because I wish I had more questions and stuff prepared. But I'm
it's
glad
so good. I can always come back.
Yeah, of course. I just want to grow it. I just want to talk to athletes. Or soccer players, I mean, and just talk about the open conversations of what the struggles are being a professional athlete and how you can go forward with it. Because I never had the chance to play, but if I would love for someone to watch this and see that the things that you went through and still be able to make it. So I think that's my goal, is just to be able to grow it and get to the point where I can have like in-person interviews. Cause I think it'd be crazy to be in Greenville or wherever talking with you.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's my goal. I mean, if it doesn't pan out, at least I give it a try. I just want to stay involved in the sports world. So I'm going to try my best to do more of these and see where it goes from there.
Yeah, I really like that. All the best to you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have my vote and my views.
Thank you. I'll send you the link to the video when it's put out.
Sure, for sure.
Yeah. And I'll definitely, me and my girlfriend talk about going to Greenville a lot. So I'll definitely come see a game this season.
Okay, man. You just let me know and I'll get you tickets.
All right, thank you.
Of course.
Well, I'm also going to link your highlight video because everyone needs to watch that crap. That was insane. So thank you very much for joining me for my first video, and I hope to have you on again.
Yeah, for sure, man. All the best, and I hope you have a good one.
Thank you. Good luck for your season.
Thank you.